Welcome back to Talk with TQ. As always, I have an interesting guest for you for every single show that I do, and I'm always pleased to interview them. Today, I am really pleased to introduce to you and interview Cyndi McKenzie, who is the owner of the legendary Kathleen's Tea Room. Welcome, Cyndi.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I have to ask you this question that everybody wants to know. How did you come about purchasing the tea room? I mean, you're now the new tea room lady.
I am the tea room lady.
Yes.
I always had a love for food, and I always, I had different businesses and ventures with food, but was never able to sustain, a quality of life. So I always had my regular job. I was an insurance executive for many, many years, and always on the side did food. And I knew the owner of the tea room. My daughter worked here when she was in high school, and Kathleen was ready to sell, and she wanted someone to take it over who she felt would keep it kind of original to what it is and put their own little flair to it. And, my parents passed away, and I inherited money, and I was in a position to buy it, and I bought it.
You took the plunge.
I took the plunge.
Now, things are basically the same here, but from what I understand, you have made some changes from the original, I'd say, business plan.
Some changes, yeah. We have longer hours.
Yes.
We're open Monday through Thursday from 11 to 5. We're open Fridays and Saturdays from 10:30 to 7, so that's one change. I've added a few things to the menu. Yeah. We do some late nights, a couple of times a month we do live music.
Yes.
I open up to local artists who like to do shows. We've done jewelry shows. You've done jewelry shows here. Pretty much, anything. We do book clubs in the evening. We do a lot of birthday parties, a lot of bridal showers, and things of that sort. So I'm really trying to utilize the space to its fullest capacity.
So it's great that you're sort of a patron of the arts and you embrace the arts in Peekskill, because to many people, Peekskill is about the arts, and you actually acknowledge that.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a great community, and I've just recently been able to get out and visit some of the art studios. I was at a Wendy Garber studio, and my God, she's got great things. I was in the Flatiron, which is Wendy's, and then the Coop.
Yes.
So, yeah, we have some great places.
There are a lot of things, good things happening around here. Now, I want to just talk to you a little bit about how you embraced the performing arts. You do have performing artists here on a regular basis.
We do.
And it's interesting how it turns into almost kind of like a New York City club scene in here. It's very interesting to me. So, what made you decide to do this? What made you decide to actually deviate a little bit from the original plan and bring in, people that are artists in here, performing artists?
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. I have to say that a lot of the artists had come to me and asked if they could perform. And, I thought, it's really a good idea. It's, you're in business, so you're always trying to drive revenue. So that's one of the options. But it's nice on a Saturday night. It's a beautiful room. And even though it's small, it lends itself to music.
It does, very much so. I've been to some of the performances. So you've embraced artists, a lot of jazz artists, some of the standard people, like standard artists, people in Peekskill, the old time people. I want to call them old, but people that are part of the community for years, such as Ray Blue and Tommy Dabbs.
Absolutely.
And then you've brought in some newer people. So Andy Paulet has brought in some people to play jazz. You've had Dina Goydell,
Alexis Cole,
who plays usually during our open studios here. And you've gotten some good feedback.
Wonderful feedback. I mean, we've, most instances it's been a full house. People really enjoy it. Tommy was here one night, and next thing I know, the tables were moved and people were dancing, and it's an avenue for people to really just kick back and relax, and that's really what the tea room is about. Even during the day, you come in, it's people say, "Oh, the tea room," and they think it's pretentious, and it's really not.
It's very laid back.
It's a place to come in and have a cup of tea, have something good to eat, chat with your friends, just really get reacquainted and relax. I have customers who come in with a book and they sit and they have their tea, they read. It's a peaceful place.
They just hang out, and I think it's wonderful that you also have, you have the performing artists in here as well, but I think it's wonderful that you don't just have tea. A lot of people think it's just tea, and then we've got to sit up very straight, and we've got to be like really proper and really good. Well, it's always a good way to be, but but often people come in here to actually kind of eat.
Yes.
because the tea room has always had like food.
Right, we do. We have a full menu. I do a fresh soup every day. Usually 2 soups a day because I try to have something that's vegetarian or vegan. We do salads and quiche, and we do homemade scones every day, croissants, sandwiches, you name it. Really nice fresh salads. We do coffee as well and hot chocolate, so you don't just have to drink tea. So it's a varied menu.
But if you want to drink tea,
Absolutely.
there is quite a menu of teas.
We have 60 different loose teas that we
60.
steep tableside in a pot for you.
Yes, what are we drinking now?
Today you're drinking a black tea called Kamba. It's a very smooth, but it has a kick to it.
Yes.
It's nice.
It's got some kick, it's got some caffeine, it's a good thing. And I know I have my favorite is the creme Earl Grey.
Yes.
And then I came here with a friend recently that had, I think, a strawberry
Tingle?
Strawberry tingle.
Yeah.
Yes. So where do the teas come from? Where do you actually get them?
Well, they're wholesaled in through a vendor that's in Canada, but most of the teas, they're from China, they're from India, from all over the world. So.
Yeah, so it's a good place for the tea enthusiast.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
And the scones are excellent too, but you do actually serve high tea.
We do what we call an afternoon tea, and I have to laugh because when I took over Kathleen's, on the menu it said high tea, and I had started to do some advertisement, and we advertised high tea, and I can't tell you how many telephone calls that I got, emails to tell me that I did not serve high tea. So I got a lesson. What we serve here is afternoon tea, and it's changed on the menu.
Okay.
And our afternoon tea is served on a 3 tiers, and on the bottom you have an assortment of tea sandwiches, and on the middle a crumpet and scone with whipped butter and jam, and on the top some petite desserts and fresh fruit, and it comes with a 2-cup pot of tea.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice. And I've noticed also that because I live in the area as well, and I pass through, I've often seen young children in here, like maybe just a young girl with her father, a young girl with her mother. It seems to be a coming of age place.
Yesterday, early in the morning, our first customer was a grandmother and her 3.75-year-old granddaughter named Gracie, and she was the cutest little thing, and she sat in the window, and she spoke to me so eloquently, and she had her tea and she had her scone, and it was just unbelievable. And we see a lot that the children come in with their parents or grandparents, and they continue over the year. We've been here a little more than 3 years for me owning it, but I've had young women that come in now, and they say, I used to come here with my mom when I was 5, or I used to come here, when I was 10 or whatever it be, and it's my favorite place. So it is. It's a great place for that kind of thing.
It's a nice place to take your daughter for tea. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about this place that it is quite feminine, but men come here too.
Absolutely.
There are doctors I see come in here. I guess because it's sort of quiet, off the beaten path in a sense, even though it's right on Main Street.
Right.
But it's just a place you can come and you can feel a little bit anonymous and at the same time be in the crowd.
Yeah, we have a lot of gentlemen that come in. They'll come in with their newspapers, or they just come in and they'll have lunch. We do have very dainty cups, but I have mugs if they don't feel comfortable, and we'll bring them out a mug. But I've never seen anything where men are uncomfortable. We're very welcoming, and it's a place for everyone. So.
And you feed them well.
We try.
Because you have that great grilled chicken sandwich with bacon and
cranberry
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The cranberry mayonnaise is one of your signature condiments.
It is.
And people just go kind of crazy for it.
They do. We actually started selling it by the mason jars.
Oh,
so,
nice.
so
okay.
Yeah.
So
it's very popular.
Is that something different? Is that one of the changes you've made?
That is one of the changes. We do a lot of takeout. We do a lot of You speak of doctors, so I do a lot of deliveries to medical offices through medical reps and things like that.
Right.
So that has been an expansion of the business. Also, a lot of seniors. So we're doing afternoon tea at senior complexes or the recreation centers and things like that. So really trying to expand the business in that aspect, but yet still keep the tea room intact in here.
And it's still the tea room.
It's still
the tea room. And a lot of people don't know that you're the owner, but because you do keep sort of a low profile, and you run a very, I'd say, efficient machine. I'll call this business. It's very efficient, but when you're sitting here, you don't realize just how I'd say in control you are, and just how you are into making sure this place runs smoothly. You are a quintessential business person.
I don't know if I put it that way, but I think with any small business, when it's at this magnitude, the owner really needs to be hands-on. And so I am. I'm your cook. I wash dishes. I shovel snow. I sweep floors. I do pretty much everything.
You do all of that.
But that's that's the size of the business. It's a small business, and to keep it going, you wind up doing a lot of the stuff yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm so much a low profile, but generally I'm in the kitchen, so you don't know that I'm here a lot of times. But
and
I'm
we
here
don't
every
know
day.
that you're the owner, but you do. You do run a very smooth, nice, comfortable operation.
Thank you.
I can attest to that. And it's a very welcoming atmosphere.
Well, we want that. I mean, everyone is welcome here. People have said, I didn't know the tea room was here, or I knew it was there, but I just didn't feel comfortable. And we really want people just to come in. Even if you're not coming in to eat or drink tea, come in and just see, what it's about. Come back another time and sit down and have lunch or something. But always feel welcome to come in.
I can say that if one is visiting Peekskill, you really haven't seen Peekskill. This is one of the many places in Peekskill that you have not seen Peekskill unless you've been to the tea room.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's such a legendary place. Now tell me, how long has this place been around?
The tea room in itself has been here a little over 15 years.
Tea room's been here for 15 years. That's a good long time.
It is a good long time.
It is, and you've maintained the menu.
Yeah, well, I change the menu twice a year. I've been the owner. November was my 3rd year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
So, thank you. So I change it to encompass the fall and winter, and then the spring and the summer.
Okay.
But there's been things on the menu that have been here from the prior owner, like the Kathleen's chicken salad.
Yeah.
It's a staple. It stays.
Yeah, you can't fix it if it's not broken.
Right. The cranberry mayo with the turkey or the chicken. That's that was originally here, and it stayed here. We tweak it a little bit, but. Pretty much the same premise.
Yeah. I was here with a friend recently, and she had the signature chicken salad. Okay. And she said it was like crazy, off the hook good. I think that people are very surprised at what you can actually eat here. I have to reiterate this because a lot of people think it's just like little tiny food with little tiny utensils. No, there's some big food.
Yeah, I think it's important that our customers feel that they're getting a value. And I'm from a very big family, so and though we may not have had a lot, we always had food.
Right.
And my mother always drove in. You always need to have more than enough food. So a lot of times you'll see the plates and they'll come out and people go,
what?
Wow. And I go, well, that's why we have takeout containers and you can have it later. But it's definitely a value.
It's true.
It's not a skimpy portion, and
we
don't want it to be a skimpy portion.
No, and I just for the record, I always clean my plate. I do.
Nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
And your waitress will come and say, "Did you like it?" And I'm like, "What do you think?"
That's a sign.
That's a sign,
and we look for that. We want to make sure that people are enjoying what they're getting.
Even the little things you put on the side, like the olives and
the caper berries.
It's like, whoa. I wish I had one now. They're really very good. And I'll have to say that your potato salad that you put on the side is really good. It's not packaged. I've watched you make it.
Yeah, it's a homemade potato salad.
It's a homemade potato salad, and it's very similar to my grandmother's.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Which was I have to say, my grandmother wasn't a great cook. But that was the only thing she could make right. And she did it right, and you do it right.
Well, thank you.
It's very similar to hers, and I have to say also that the clientele that you have, they aren't always people from Peekskill. They're from out of town.
They are. People, they travel. We have a couple that comes from New Jersey. They happened upon us one day, and they came in, and they've been coming back probably twice a month, and they come in all the way from New Jersey. Our customers are from all over. I meet great people here. We have some very, very lovely customers. People are very nice.
Yeah, and I'll have to say also that I can attest to that. There have been customers that have been here that have come to my studio. I'll say notably, I remember one time someone came and she was from the UK, and she said that she came here because she felt that she was getting the authentic.
Yeah, we've heard that quite a bit.
Yes.
There aren't that many tea houses, in the area, and the original owner had started things, and she did it the right way, and we carried it through.
Yeah.
You know, we do the tea with the strainers, you know, we do the
Yeah.
afternoon tea and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, we say the scones are scones best this side of the pond.
Yeah.
And customers have said that. So
They're authentic
we take pride in it.
buttermilk scones.
They're buttermilk scone.
Yeah, they're very, very good, and you don't deviate from that. You're not into doing anything, and you're not into the bells and whistles, which works, except for when you make, you know, certain scones. Like
The dessert scones.
Tell us about the dessert scones. My favorite.
We have a signature dessert scone, which is called our mixed berry. And what we do is we make scones every day. So we take a warm scone, homemade whipped cream, a homemade raspberry sauce or strawberry sauce, and we put, for the mixed berry, it's strawberries and blackberries and blueberries and raspberries on top of the homemade whipped cream with
Yeah.
more sauce and then some powdered
Yay.
sugar and mint. So it's really beautiful, but it tastes good.
It's really pretty, but you know, once you get it, you're welcome to make a mess of it.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Yeah, and the strawberry shortcake scone, which is my favorite.
Right, we do it the same way, just with strawberries
With
and a homemade
strawberries,
strawberry
fresh
sauce.
strawberries.
Everything here is fresh. People will laugh. You know, vendors know me on a regular basis because I shop daily.
Yeah.
I think it's important, you know, you want a salad and you want fresh, crisp greens. So we want to make sure that that's what you get. So,
Yes.
and I think that's a lot of it, is that everything is fresh.
Yeah.
We do everything every day, so.
It's fresh and it's healthy, you know, but it's not, you know, it's not a health food place to eat. It's definitely some place where you can have things that are decadent, you know, you can fill yourself, and I think you can satisfy most every palate,
I do.
I would say.
Yeah, we've really started to do some vegetarian things. So
Yeah.
we added a veggie salad. a veggie sandwich.
Okay.
So we're also doing some gluten-free. So I have a
Okay.
gluten-free cake that is on the menu that is really to die for. You wouldn't know that it's gluten-free.
Right.
Like I said, we do a vegetable soup. I make sure, and it's, you know, done with a vegetable broth.
Okay.
And people are surprised, but happy. It's difficult to go out and find something that's, you know, palatable and, you know, fits their dietary requirements.
Oh, palatable, I'll say delicious.
Well, thank you.
You know, it's delicious. And, you know, men do eat here. A lot of times they feel this is a place just for women, although there are a lot of women in here. A lot of business deals go down in this place, too, I've noticed.
Really?
Because I'm an eavesdropper, kind of. When I'm here, I'll like say, what? You know? Here's somebody talking with the dollars. Dollars what? You know? And it's women that are doing these things, and sometimes men as well. You know, I think that I feel very proud to be part of the community because you're here.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, and I really appreciate the fact that you embrace the arts so much. You know, do you have any changes, or are you going to just keep it the way it's going?
For right now, if it's not broken, you don't try to fix it. It's, you know,